Good morning. I'm going to talk about Lake Resources, which is focused on Argentina, 4 projects for lithium. One of those is in pre-feasibility study and the others a slightly earlier stage. So this slide here pretty much summarizes the key aspects to Lake Resources. We're listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. The company holds the largest tract of lithium leases in Argentina, over 200,000 hectares. The main project, Cachi, is a lithium brine project. We started drilling that about 16 months ago and produced a virgin discovery which has automatically become one of the top 10 global lithium brine resources, and perhaps with another 18 months would catapult into the top 3 or 4 on size. A current resource is 4.4 million tonnes of lithium carbonate equivalent, but the key aspect is that we own it 100%. We actually own the entire basin with mining leases, and this was a key aspect of why we acquired the project or consolidated the project to start with. Because when we go to China, Korea, Japan to talk to battery makers and cathode makers, they want to talk to us about this project because it has scale, it can be increased to whatever is the demand, and the beauty of a brine project is once they're producing, once the capital cost has been sunk, they can be producing for 20, 30, 40 years. We're in a pre-feasibility study at the moment, and we will be announcing who we'll be working with to complete that. That'll be probably done in about 6 or 7 months. But we're looking at using a direct extraction method, and the one we've selected based on a phase 1 engineering produces very low capital costs. It would put us at the absolute bottom of the cost curve and produce an extremely clean, high purity product to the battery makers. Our other key project is at Olaroz and Cauchari, and the reason we have these is they're right next to current production and major development. Under development, the number 2 lithium producer, Gengfeng, is rapidly developing the Cauchari project, and at Olaroz, we're across the basin from current production by Orocobre. You probably know that the lithium sector has had a bit of a tough time recently. The share prices of many companies are down, and so one questions the business model, but we're fairly confident not only on the demand for lithium, but also that we're in the right location. And that's based on the fact that in the last 8 months, there's been 3 entirely different transactions around us, all of them between $111 and $280 million to purchase large lithium resources. That values those resources at somewhere between US 50 to 110 million per million tonne of lithium carbonate equivalent. So clearly we're in the right location with the right sort of projects. Where are we? This is a quick map just to show in the north, Olaroz and Cauchari next to current production, and a little bit further south in Catamarca province is the Cachi project. It's about 80 kilometres south of FMC, now called Livent. They've been producing for more than 20 years in Argentina, the longest term producer. Quick slide just on comparison of value. The yellow bar is our market cap versus others. Significantly undervalued at the moment, and we've been trying to turn that around based on the size of the resource. We suspect that was because we brought out the resource in November, December, just when the markets were fairly not entirely supportive. A few happy slides. This is the Cachi project. If you've been to Argentina or Chile, they'll pretty much look the same. No trees, no grass, 3,000 meters altitude. It might rain once a year, it might rain once every 5 years. In satellite view, this is what the project looks like. In blue is 4.4 million tonnes of lithium carbonate equivalent. In red is our target of 8 to 17 million tonnes of lithium carbonate equivalent. So we'd be very surprised if it doesn't at least double, if not substantially more in size. Good chemistry, very clean, low impurities, and a low lithium magnesium ratio But as I mentioned, the best thing is that it's owned on a 100% basis and hasn't been dealt yet. Here on the left is the yellow circle, just showing the size versus other major lithium brine projects, and in pale blue is sort of a halfway spot of the size of the exploration target and where we expect it to trend in the future. This is the direct extraction process I was talking about. It's developed by a group out of San Francisco called Lilac. Essentially, it's not a whole black box, it's just part of the front end. Essentially, you replace having evaporation ponds and waiting 9 to 18 months to concentrate your liquor before processing it. In this case, it's run through a water column. It has pellets which selectively take out the lithium, and that process takes about 3 hours. Because it's a very clean brine, it's quite low reagent use, and but unfortunately, like all of these direct extraction methods, none of them are at a commercial scale, so there's always scale risk. And that's why we've gone for this one. It's pretty simple. Ion exchange is well used in the water treatment business, and this has just been tweaked to work for lithium. A photo of our Kalchari project. I mentioned Gangfang before. There on the other side of the dotted line. That's 11.8 million tonne resource out in the lake, and then next to it 4.5 million tonnes, and on our side of the leases we've been drilling now for a few months without any success, very high fluid pressures, and we're just in the process of changing that rig to get a better result. Similarly, a little further north at Olaroz, we'll be drilling somewhere in the next few months through these sand dunes into the same salt lake that Orocobre is currently producing from. And as a broker said to me in Sydney, Steve, I'm not too certain how the lithium sector is going, but if you've got a producer on the other side of the lake which has got a 600, 900 million market cap, and you show that you've got the same sort of numbers with a $25 million market cap, that's the sort of story I can sell to retail, high net worth and institutional funds. So we've just got to prove those numbers work and then move that project forward. So quick summary, resource at Kachi. It's a large resource, probably could get bigger, but at 4.4 million tonnes, that's more than enough to get the pre-feasibility study started. As I mentioned, we aim to have that finished in 6 or 7 months. Indicatively, we'd like to have a pilot plant there in about 6 months. We're just going through that process, the timing to engineering. And also, Stu, who's in the crowd, our chairman, been in the capital markets for many years, he and I spend quite a bit of time going to Japan, Korea and China. We've been trying to engage with a cathode maker or a lithium-ion battery maker, because they're the people that have the demand looking forward. They need a long-term consistent supply, and we're hoping to engage with one of those to partner on this project and get it underway. Then at the same time, drilling at Kalchari, drilling at Olaroz, demonstrate that we've got similar grades, and I think that'll move the market almost despite where things are. Quick corporate snapshot. Depending on the share price, 20, 25 million market cap, not particularly large, 360 million shares on issue. We closed a financing a few weeks ago in New York. We now have a backer to really push that Kachi project forward. 1.65 million has come in already as part of a larger $5 million facility, and then we'll probably add to that some stage before the northern summer with some straight equity. So thank you very much. Very simple story, large project. It's not a one-trick wonder because there's 4 of them in the right location, relatively low market cap, but we expect to be pushing out more news again this year. And it's been interesting that now that we have a significant resource, moving that through pre-feasibility study, it's been much easier to have the conversations that we needed to have with the end users. Thank you.